I have a new thing. Backup the backup.
Right. And
You
I
feel
actually,
me? Backup the backup.
I literally just bought a 2 terabyte drive yesterday.
I that might be your best studio purchase of the year, because when you go back 5 years from now and you're like, oh God, I'm so glad I saved this because it's all fucked up over here, which happened to me. So I mean, this has happened to me where like projects have been completely in shambles. You're like, what is this?
Uh-huh.
It happened to Haunt's Burst into Flame. I went back to go listen to it, and I was like, what is this? And I had Andy, who I didn't oversee everything on it. That was part of the weird thing about the beginnings of Haunt, other than Luminous Eyes, which is funny because it still seems to be like most people's favorite thing that I've done, which I literally did in a weekend, just for fun. It wasn't meant to be. It didn't mean to overshadow the band I was in. And it did.
Right.
Massively. So I went back to go check it out, and there we had John's friend here, like, supposedly engineering it, and it was like the album almost didn't get done. And I'm like the type of guy where it's like I write so much music, it's like I was gonna just throw them all in the garbage can and start over, because it was like I had done demos myself. Like, I recorded the drums, I played, and like I wrote songs, and then I had Wolfie who played drums on Luminous Eyes. He was getting really sick at this point in time, though, so it didn't end up going like we thought. He came and he did like the pre-production with me, which I just ended up deciding to put out on vinyl, because like with all the knowledge I have now, I was like, I can make this sound like better than the album. I was like when the dude came to like record the drums, it like Wolfie got sick, had to go to the hospital. He was like given 6 months to live at the time, and I didn't really have a band, so I was like auditioning drummers at the time as well. And then I was just like, this is a fucking fiasco, because like he had come and recorded with the dude, and he was just really sick. I mean, he had stage 5 liver failure, and his heart was failing. So I don't know. He magically survived it all. But
how is I've been to California a few times on vacation and shit. And like once in a while, I used to just be like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go on Craigslist and see if there's any people that like jam out there." And I couldn't find anybody, and I thought that was like insane.
No one. Dude, I'm a one-man band. If you're not a one-man band out here, good luck, dude.
I don't understand.
So hard to find people to play with. Like, there's nobody that plays. Nobody plays, man, and they're all in LA, and they all have these certain. I mean, I'm not saying everybody in LA is like this, but there is like a definite thing, because I moved there and lived there for 2 years.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find a band. I couldn't. If you could believe this at the time, this is fucking shocking to me. This was like 2006.
Yeah, that's like prime time.
I couldn't find. I was 20. I was 25, so I was young, and I couldn't find anybody that wanted to do Black Sabbath type music or Megadeth. No one.
That's insane.
Like I was like, what is going on? And then I was like, I was going to these auditions, and they're like rock bands, and they're playing Evanescence type shit. I'm like, dude,
you're like,
guys. I was like,
back my shit. I was
trying to tell them. Yeah, I was trying to tell them. I'm like, maybe, why don't you guys think like, don't you guys listen to like Thin Lizzy and shit? Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, but anyway, long story short, that just failed, and I ended up back in Fresno, which I'm not even from. So, but I knew people here that played music, so it's weird, because like I grew up in the middle of nowhere. I grew up in Calaveras County, which is like foothills, population 7,000,
right?
And there's nobody to play with up there. I had to bail. So
I just thought that was insane, dude. Like, when I think of LA, I think of like the biggest metal scene there is. Like,
none. It's like so like we can't even really find like many bands to play with, dude. There's like a handful. There really literally is a handful, and some of them are already defunct. Like, they lasted like a couple years. It's just the young people, like the younger, like there's like this audience of like people that are like mid-20s right now, maybe early 20s that are starting some bands. But like any teenagers or anything beyond that, there's no young people like upholding anything. There's no like getting drunk in the parking lot kind of vibe happening.
Yeah, I got you.
I think it's just, I don't do that stuff, and I don't really condone it. I used to do that stuff. That's what it was all about. But, you know, as a grown-ass man, you're not going to catch a 39-year-old dude like myself, like I don't even get drunk. I haven't drank in 10 years. But you're not going to catch me drinking in the parking lot. Let's just put it that way. I just am too headstrong. I got too many things going on. But when you're a teenager and shit, that's what you're supposed to be doing, I feel like. You're supposed to be getting reckless. It's the only time in your life you really can be reckless when you look back. It's
as long as you don't get a DWI, you're all set, dude.
Yeah, if you fucking coast through that shit wisely, then yeah. Because like in your 30s, life gets really, really real. Because like you start realizing you're like, well, all right, I'm 30. Like, what the fuck have I done?
Well,
like, in 10 years,
years,
I'm gonna be 40.
This literally leads to my first question I have.
All right.
You ready? How do you balance being a full-time father figure and being the frontman of Haunt?
And the frontman of Beastmaker and the bass player of Hysteria and running everything and writing all of it. Like, you missed quite a few things in there.
Yeah, I guess I did.
And being the engineer of it all. It is extremely challenging. I'm fucking constantly burned out, but I have a fire that just can't be extinguished right now, because my goal in life, and I think some people start to realize this eventually, my goal is to write one hit song. It doesn't even have to be in my band either.
Yeah.
I just want to write one fucking hit. Like, I don't give a fuck if I end up writing some shit and somebody else picks it up and they're like, hey, I'm going to rework this. Like, sorry, it's going to be whatever it is now. I don't care. I just want to be fucking, like, I've worked really, really hard at writing songs, like, for a long time now.
Yeah.
And, like, it's just something that I want to happen. That way I could fulfill the dream. I don't even care about any of
just that one hit. That's all you need is one hit.
Just to fucking say I did it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, fuck, like, I did the shit. Now, like, I have different aspirations as myself as an artist, you know, like with the things that I do, because, you know, like, I like certain kind of music, but I also have played in a lot of different types of bands in my life, and being from Fresno, where there's not a lot of bands. Anyway, I'll get to that later, but to balance it, so we have like a really like pretty scheduled thing here with me and my wife, like during normal time, because my wife teaches, I stay at home and just do music.
Yep.
3 days out of the week, I watch him all day. Like, so Monday, let's just say Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I watch him from fucking 6 a.m. when he gets up till 5:30 when my wife gets home, and I give her a little break to wind down, maybe if she's lucky, depending on the madness of, you know, parenting an infant. And then I go into the studio, but the other 2 days, my mother-in-law comes over and watches him the whole day. So I get like, I'll be out here for 12 hours. I don't even leave. Like, I just, boom, in here. And then 2 days out of the month, I only have to, she comes over Friday as well. So I get like 3 full days of just being by myself, working on music. And then Saturday and Sunday, my wife is like, all right, get what you need done. Because she knows it's like the fucking shit that I do and the mountain of stuff that I have going on all the time. There's not enough time in the world to do it. I mean, I'm shipping like 100 orders a week out of here by myself. Like, that doesn't sound like an astronomical number in the grand scheme of like,
it's just a lot of keeping track of things.
On a DIY level, that's huge. I'm doing it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, Metal Blade or somebody would be like, whatever, well, that ain't shit. But to me, I'm on the fucking move right now. I'm figuring all these things out.
The Postal Service knows your name, dude.
Oh, dude, they know me. I actually put things on the fucking. I put church recordings on the box. I was like, you know, like I grew up around a lot of graffiti artists, and one of my best friends like ended up he owns this huge skateboard company, and I grew up hanging out with him, skating and shit, and he was always in the graffiti. And I didn't really understand. He used to be like, dude, it's all about just getting your name up. They tried to get me involved in it one time, and like, they're like, all right, you need a tag name. And I just wasn't there. You know what I mean? I was just like, I was safe for me. I was like, first off, I didn't want to get in trouble because these motherfuckers, I mean, we were like 16 and this dude's on house arrest and shit in the summer. I'm like, fuck that. I'm like, you're not locking me inside for an entire summer of my life when I could go out skating, going to shows and kissing girls and stuff. Like, no, you're not. No, this is not. So I didn't go down that route, but a lot of those things like really come to my mind now, like when it comes to like the branding of things and how you operate that. So I kind of like do that. But yeah, I mean, the people around here, the people that pick up the mail, like her and I have become really good friends now because like I from a distance, because I talked to her all the time outside, you know, the mail lady, because she had to come pick up. She's like, is this correct? You have 250 parcels? And I was like, I'm sorry. I was like, I am sorry, but I can't go to the post office anymore. They have it completely shut off. So I can't go there with that many. I can't go there with that many packages right now, and not have like, I'm trying to not have contact with anybody, to be honest with you. I take this shit incredibly seriously because I'm like watching CNN the other day and they have this fucking dad. He's like my age, 2 kids die of this shit. And I'm sitting here going like, if that dude could die, like I can. It just be, you know, it's like these kind of things, just because you're not in the statistic does not mean that you're fucking immune. That doesn't mean you're not going to get fucking sick and die. It's like, get the fuck out of here. Like, you gotta be diligent, man.
Did you see the video recently with the protests and shit?
Horrible.
Like, I don't want to go into it a lot because, you know, that's very controversial and shit like that, but come on, man. Like, all these people are going to get sick. Like, that's a huge gathering. Like,
that was so dumb. And I bet you in 2 to 3 weeks time, some of those people will be fucking regretting it. And it'll be on the news. It'll be on the news. It'll be fucking front fucking story, fucking CNN news when these people start. To me, see, like, here's some background information for you. I did hair for 20 years. My mom was a hairdresser, and she knew. I mean, I had like coffee shop jobs in high school. One of my mom's friends owned a coffee shop, and they gave me a job. And I think my mom saw immediately that I do not like taking orders. Like, I do not like. I'll work with people, and I'm like I'm easygoing there. But like when you tell me I can't have the day off to go see a concert, and when you're fucking that young, like, I was like,
no,
fuck that.
yeah,
I went anyway. I'm like,
I was the same way. Like,
I don't fucking care about this.
I was doing dishes
job.
when I was like 16. Like,
yeah, dude, you don't fucking tell a 16-year-old kid you can't. I mean, dude, I worked at a coffee shop, for fuck's sake. It wasn't like it was like dude, you guys can all. You can have 2 people. Yes. I mean, I had to go early because I lived, like I told you, I lived up in the middle of nowhere. So sometimes these things. This was a 3.5-hour drive event for me. Yeah, so I had to drive. It was a 7-hour round trip drive. And then back in these days, I couldn't get a fucking hotel. My mom didn't know how far we were driving. We would tell her we're going to Stockton or we're going to Sacramento. She didn't know we were driving all the way out to Petaluma, which is out in the North Bay area. We're in the Central Valley. So it's a completely different fucking place. And I'm getting home at 4 a.m. and shit. You know what I mean? Like, barely fucking hold my eyes open. But I mean, that's so anyway, doing hair, I ended up being a hairdresser. And for 20 years almost, I just stopped doing it recently. When the music stuff started growing and like I finally didn't have to rely on hair as an income. You're breathing on these people, like your tools have been, the things that happen in a salon. And I also taught at a beauty college, so I know about all the sanitation and stuff that goes on. Dude, there's no fucking way that they're doing all the shit that they need to do to protect the public. There's so many fucking things about touching public people and being in the public like that.
Yeah.
You're just, that's it. It's fucking stupid. I'm like, they're like saying there's a line for the fucking barber shop. I'm sitting here going, your hair is that important right now? Nobody fucking cares.
Nobody cares.
Nobody fucking cares right now. Dude, I was wearing the same sweatpants until today when I realized, I was like, these are disgusting. I had like ashes all over them from my joints, coffee stains. And I'm like looking at them, I'm like, these are fucking gross. My son has like wiped his mouth everywhere on them. But like, who fucking cares right now? It's like, you're not going to see anybody. It's like, yeah, get dressed, take a shower, shave, like maybe put some clothes on. If you got to go somewhere, take the step, make yourself feel good or whatever. But I don't know, man. It's really strange times, and it's strange times to the music business. The music business is taking a huge fall. Booking? See, the thing that I'm thinking about, I'm like, booking agents are fucked. They are so fucked.
Well, down here in Rochester, I keep seeing these like festivals being booked, and I'm like, why are you even like setting this shit up? Like, what's the point? Like, you don't know what the future's holding. Like,
I think they're just trying to like have something there, but I just don't think the public is going to be ready for concerts for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, they're booking shit in like June. I mean, obviously that's a little bit far away.
That's way too fucking soon. Nobody's playing in June. There's no way. I don't care what the fuck the world is at. Like, we are not going to be there. Like, I won't be there. And the people that, I mean, I'm surprised Death Angel and like made it through. I mean, like that dude, their drummer Will. I was like reading his story, and he's like, dude, I was like, I just fucking woke up in the hospital. Like, I was in a fucking coma, and I survived.
Yeah,
and that's
crazy.
Like seriously scary, dude. I mean, I'm not that much younger than those guys. They could be my older brother. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I'm like, damn, they almost got took out. I was in Europe just like them, and I was sick when I got home too. I had a fucking cough, but that's not very unusual on a tour in the frozen ass place where everybody smokes all day long.
Dude, I want to go there so bad.
So it's kind of just one of those things where it's just like, I didn't really think anything of it. So I just self-quarantined just out of like, because I got home, and then like 2 days later, they were like shutting down the airports. We walked through without a fucking, like nothing was going on. Like literally like 2 days, But since I got home, and I had been worried about it since I had left, because I was watching it as we were going, I was like, I don't know if I want to go, and then I had already spent all this money, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, I talked to the guys, they're like, let's go. And
just
we went, and I mean, we all made it through till like, we didn't get sick over there. Cause like, if I would have had that shit, all those dudes would have got it, guaranteed. We weren't just alone. We were touring with other bands too. So the other band would have got it. Everybody would got it. So, but I just took a precaution, and I was like, fuck it, dude, 2 weeks I'm staying in. And by the time that 2 weeks was over, then they already had shelter in place now. And I'm like, fuck,